I don't know if people are clear, but being unequally yoked is not just about your faith.
Right.
It's on every level.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we could have the same faith and be off on physically, spiritually, naturally, mentally. We're not on the same page. So we have to understand being equally yoked isn't just about the faith.
I agree.
And I think that's where that one couple that I'm aware of who are of two different faiths, one was a Christian, one was a Muslim, they were actually worked.
Right.
Because they were able to come to a compromise when it came to, I don't want to say compromise, like they lost who they, what they believe,
Absolutely.
But they were able to work it out when it comes to the faith, but they were equally yoked on every other level.
In my experience, what you realize is when you actually have that conversation, right? You find that your faiths and how you believe is really not that far off.
Mm-hmm.
We've been trained to believe that we're so far off.
Right.
We're so different that you're automatically judged and you're over here. You're not a Christian, you're a Muslim. You're Jewish, you're this, you're that, you're this and that. But just like with anything to me, if you have a conversation, you understand that you really kind of believe similar to the same things, right? So I can see that. I can see how that could work.
Right.
So it's ironic. So like for me, in my experiences, whereas you didn't think about that much, literally based on my life assault my whole life. Like it was like a whole lot in a whole lot of different areas. Right, because some people are so religious that in their world, in their mind, that their world revolves around religion, not God. Right. Religion. Right. Some people say it's about God, but it's not. Right, when your world revolves around your perception of religion, including the pointing the fingers in that space. And if that's where you live, then your decisions all day are surrounded with that thought of how my religion is. When I say that, sometimes it's about the perception of the religion, right? It's about, hey, how are these people going to see me when I go here?
Right.
What are they going to say?
Right.
All right, nah, I can't accept this, right? People get so lost in the perception of others in a religion, truth be told, whereas I don't disagree with it. I think organized religion is great for some people. I think that some people need to go to a place and fellowship, right? They need to hear people give testimonies about things that they can connect to. That's good for them. I think that they should. However, I also think that if you're not in the place where you can mentally handle it, or you're not in the place where the people who will surround you there will actually be non-judgmental of you, then you start to let it weigh on your perception of life. Right. Now you say, oh, nah, I gotta move this way because of these people at this church, right? I got you. That's how you shape it. You're shaping it because of the people at the church, not what your God says, right? That's not what you want. That's not how you move it, right? So people then start moving based on the perception of the church.
I agree with that totally, and I can actually attest to that growing up in the Pentecostal church, where my brother said, we were brainwashed. Shout out to Catherine Plummer, Batia Elroy, thank you for tuning in. Monique Perry, if you're just tuning in, we are talking about religion and relationships, the good, the bad, and the side effects. And G-Dash has made a point of how people are moved by people's perception. Right. Is that correct? Did I say
Absolutely.
That right? Okay.
The perception of the religion, the perception of people who are in it, not actually their God.
Right. Because what I found out, growing up the way I grew up, we grew up, anybody know anything about being Pentecostal? Long skirts, no earrings, no nails, no weaves, no none of that. We look like nuns. You might as well call us a nun. But there was always a part of me that was like, yo, they got to be more to this than this. And so I was always looked at as a rebellious one. You know what I'm saying? I was the one wearing the skirts to school where I had my jeans in my book bag, and then I'm changing. In the summertime I had the little booty shorts in my book bag. I was that little girl. But as I got older and had a relationship with God, then I understood that it wasn't what they were teaching us, and what I even talked to my parents, my mom about now. Like, you can't push your own personal convictions onto other people. Whatever is your stuff, that's your stuff. But you can't push it on to me nor nobody else. Even when I got my tattoo on my hand, I am almost 40 years old. And I got this tattoo on my hand. My mom is an evangelist of a Christian, of a Pentecostal church, and my dad is a deacon. And my dad said to me, actually just last week or week before, you got another tattoo in your hand? I was like, what are you talking about? This joint been on here since 2010. Right. And I said, well, even if I did, I'm grown. What is the problem? And I had to really look at him, and his thing was, well, Jesus is going to see it. I said, well, he was there when I did it. What is the problem? Like, my dude, this don't make me no less saved than you. I'm going to need you to stop. Right. You know what I'm saying? Of course, at that point, he looks at me like,
I'm your fault. That's what he called that after that.
Like, wait, bye, go sit down. You know what I'm saying? But
Put up your phone. That's the only thing I have to say.
I'm like, but
Like
my
his hand had to shake when you said, "Put up your phone."
It's like, put up your phone.
but my thing is, okay, if you don't do tattoos, that's cool. Leave me alone.
Right.
I'm not convicted with me getting my tattoos. You know what I'm saying? My relationship, God, is my relationship. What works for me may not work for you, and that's okay. But what I notice is that, especially being a sexuality educator, it's like, what? You talk about sex, you say penis and vagina? Yeah, I do. You say pussy and dick? I do. Because God made it. Why can't I say it?